So today is Inktober day 9, I believe. So let's look at the prompt word and draw something. So the prompt for day 9 of Inktober is the word precious. So what I've been doing for every day of Inktober is I'll sketch sort of like some concepts on this left page and then go for it and draw the finished piece on this right half of the page. So the prompt was precious, and like the first thing I think of is like a precious stone, like a diamond. So I'm just gonna quickly sketch that out. Actually, that's not what a diamond looks like. Alright, doesn't need to be perfect, just getting like the idea on paper so I can quickly like brainstorm, basically. So the other thing that I thought of when I heard the word precious was my best friend in high school had a miniature horse named Precious. So that's the other thing I'm thinking of. Not sure if that one would translate well for like other people. So that's probably not the idea I'll go with, but brainstorming is all about getting your ideas onto paper before you forget them. So who knows, that might inspire something further on down the road. Now the other thing Precious makes me think of is, you know, Lord of the Rings and the ring. The one ring to rule them all. Gollum's precious, you know. So out of these 3 ideas, 2 of them kind of connect with like a diamond and a ring, because you can have, you know, a diamond ring. So like I could think of something like that, maybe. And just specifically, I enjoy drawing characters, so I really want to somehow incorporate like a character into this idea. So maybe someone who finds a diamond or is given a diamond, so it could be like a proposal. And I just like drawing girls, so it's probably gonna end up being a girl. What if I just drew a character that's like super glammed up, like tons of jewelry and like earrings and necklaces and bracelets, and like their hair could be up in like a fancy updo with like a crown, breakfast at Tiffany's kinda. Oh yeah, and then she could have like a little black dress. This is kind of what brainstorming looks like. It's definitely not like the prettiest thing in the world, but it's really quite fun. I enjoy the process of like, basically you're trying to draw and keep up with wherever your brain goes. So sometimes you can start by drawing one thing and then you instantly like jump to another. So maybe we'll give her gloves. Kind of just feel like doing some Audrey Hepburn fan art now. She's precious, right? Oh, and if you didn't see last week's video, I've been using these Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay India inks. And I've been trying to use mostly just the color black and then using one of the colors as an accent color. So that's what we'll be doing on this page when we get to that, once we have a better idea fleshed out. But I'm really liking this idea because I just enjoy drawing characters, so I'm always going to lean towards that idea over like just drawing a diamond, you know. And I'm just sort of jumping around, sketching whatever I feel like it, really. Because that's also part of the Inktober challenge, is to enjoy yourself. You want it to be a poofy dress? But I've kind of already done something that was like a poofy dress for day... What are these? Oh, the spell one. Oh, and if you want to see all of my Inktober drawings, definitely go to my Instagram page where I'm posting every day for October. It's quite the load, so if you're interested in seeing that, you can definitely check out my Instagram page where I'm posting daily. Yeah, I think I preferred the more slim fit, so I'm just gonna write that next to it. That way I don't have to erase it, because I kind of like the sketch, but I have the idea written down as well. I'll do that a lot, especially since with the finished illustration, I'm going to draw it differently than what the sketch looks like. And it's kind of fun to see sort of the process of creating like an illustration. So it's fun to leave like the differences still there without like erasing it, if that makes any sense at all. Maybe we could have her sitting. So we need to come up with like a pose. You could like a nice prim and proper pose, arched back, ankles crossed. Maybe her hands are on her knees. Maybe her head's like tilted a little to the left. Another thing I've been trying for Inktober is to keep my style kind of simple, because drawing every day is definitely a bit of a load, especially when you have other things to do and jobs to go to. I've been trying to keep it simple to make sure that I actually do it, and one of the ways I'm doing that is by trying to keep the character simple. So like one thing I've been avoiding is noses, because I've been kind of trying to draw in my simpler jelly bean style, which doesn't usually have noses, but I think I've drawn a couple noses anyway. But that's kind of just a thing that helps me remember to keep things simple by not drawing the nose. It's not necessary that I can't draw a nose or that I have to not draw a nose. It's just that when I don't draw the noses, it helps me keep other things simpler. But I've definitely been going outside of that and accidentally adding a lot of details or elongating the body a little too much, because in my jelly bean style, the proportions are much shorter. So I think, what did I calculate? It's like 4.5 heads tall is the jelly bean style. And I've definitely come against that a couple times by accident. So, you know, there's no real rules set in stone here. Got all the necklaces. I feel like I should have a big bow on the back. It's not direct fan art, it's still our own creation, you know? It's like our take on it. That's kind of cute. Don't love the head. I think I'll try that again. Maybe a different angle would be cute. I think I'm liking this pose over just the basic standing there pose, because this is kind of cute, you know? She's sort of like sucking up to the camera, like, pretty pose. I don't know if you can tell that that's a bow on the back of her dress. Maybe if we add like a ribbon that goes around her midsection, that'll help. Ta-da! Cute. So we can move over to our main page and try to take this idea and sort of fit it into the square. That's something I've also been practicing, is trying to make my illustrations like fit on a page in like a creative way, instead of just like a character in the center of the page. So one way of doing that is if she was in the center. So if like her body's here and she's like sitting, you know, with her little ankles. Having something that, like, you know, I don't know what the word is for that. It's totally escaping me. But like, you know, fills the page. Gotta fill it out. And we could have like just pearls going around. Not sure I'm crazy about that idea though. That's definitely something I've noticed I've been struggling with for the whole week of October so far. Is like I'll like my miniature sketch, and then when I try to transfer it to a bigger one, something gets lost in translation and it just doesn't look quite as fluid or as like, I don't know. It loses a lot of what I liked about it. So let's try extra hard today to recapture this little tiny sketch and make it bigger. It's almost like a mermaid tail. Her ankles are that glued together. And I want her head tilted. It helps to draw those like orientation lines on the head to be able to get those eyes to line up properly. And that also helps you figure out where the ears need to go. And the crown should probably be centered with this line. Pulled back into the bun. And I think I want this to be pearls as well. Do we want to give her a nose? You can give her a nose. I know it bothers a lot of people that I don't draw noses. Okay, so we've got the head. Body's still very vague. I have that shoulder almost... I think the left one's a little higher than the right one. So that shoulder's like a little up. Oh, that is actually has that little like cutesy like. I really need to work on my vocabulary. Do you definitely need some earrings? Yeah, this shoulder feels wacky. If we just pull that arm to the left a little, that'll help. What if we did more of like a capped sleeve? So it goes like to the... Ooh, that looks kind of elegant, doesn't it? Your head looks a little big. Not gonna lie. And if that's the case, the choice is either erase the head or erase the body. I'm looking at this, and I think one of the things I like about this is her head's dipped down a little bit more, whereas this one's like not dipped, it's raised up, which isn't quite the like cutesy look that I'm going for. So the head's gonna go goodbye. Yeah, you gotta get these things all ironed out in the sketch, because once you start inking, it's too late. And she'll be like looking up at you all innocent, you know. Block out the shape of the head. Very vague. The crown's up here somewhere. Do we like this better? Well, we hopefully, because I can't exactly go back to the way it was. I do like this better. I think it has a bit more cutesy, and the head's a little smaller, so that's helpful too. Give her earrings back before I forget, because earrings are something I just always forget to draw on people. Yeah, I'm liking that face better. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, yeah, this is going somewhere. This is getting somewhere. I'm liking it. I want her to have those long gloves like Audrey Hepburn did in that movie. You know, I've actually never seen that movie, but, you know. I can still appreciate the way the poster looked. Do I want to give her lips like this? She kind of has a Tinkerbell vibe. Do you feel that? Are you feeling that? It's way too close to the bottom of this page. You know what? Let me try just doing one of these. Then the heel would come back like this. You know. Okay, that looks really weird. Not loving these feet. I like the back one, but I don't like the closer one. I draw where the foot would be first and then just draw the shoe on top of it. Seems like a plan. Hey, I think that makes a lot of sense. What do you think? What do you think of those little feet? And now, I don't know, now seeing it all together, I'm not in love with the cap sleeve. So let me take those away and see if I like it better. Should have used a different eraser. That one just smudged everywhere. Yeah, I think I like that better. I like seeing the shoulders. Let's try to incorporate the little bow. Make it huge. Oh, we can use that to sort of create that filling the page I was kind of talking about. And the other section would come maybe this way. Some more pearls. Some precious pearls. This one doesn't make sense to me. You could maybe have more of the bow come back like this. So then she's kind of just like weirdly, creatively, floatingly sitting there. It's kind of weird that it like comes out of her butt like that though. That might need to move. But I don't want someone to be like, why is it coming out of her butt? Do we want to know? Noses are cute. I like drawing noses. What if we just drew, so I had that like swooshy line here. What if I drew like a little bow? Kind of like that. And then it had the parts that sort of stream off of it. But then it had like some pearls. Like weird abstract-y thing. You could have some more pearls on this side. Sort of capturing that swoosh without having to like actually draw out the whole swoosh. What do I think about that? I think that kind of works. I think it's cute. I think that's ready for ink. So, what I've learned is it's always best to sort of slightly erase everything and then start inking with my dip pen. It's always like, goodbye. Like, I hope it comes out kind of looking the way it did before. You know, that kind of feeling. It's time to go in with the ink, and I'm going to need protection. As you can see, Inktober has not been kind to this mat. I've been trying my best to, you know, not make a mess, but that's what this is for. You know, to protect my desk. That's what's really important. Because if you can't clean it off the desk, oh, that would be a disaster. Here's the inks I've been using. Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay Black India ink. What I do is I just put it next to the drawing. I take this dropper. You're probably supposed to drop it into someplace else and then use it, but I just like put the dropper off to the side where it won't make a mess. Then I grab my pen, wherever that ended up. I was just showing it to you. Here it is. My pen. See, it's getting kind of dirty. I try my best to clean it. They said warm water, or you can use like a specific solution, but I'm still learning, so maybe the next nib I have, I'll treat it with better care, because I've kind of learned what not to do. Anyway, I'll just dip that in there, and then you hold it tube side down and start drawing. And you always want to start top left and move your way to bottom right if you're right-handed, or top right and move your way to bottom left if you're left-handed. And let me tell you, I'm pretty sure every single thing that I've drawn so far, I've smudged at least one little thing, so let's hope today is the exception. And the first line has been drawn. And circles are really difficult for me because like on the way up here, like going up like that, it gets kind of caught and it makes a funny sound. I don't know if you can hear it. Ooh, did you hear that? Sometimes I don't like to actually draw a harsh hairline. I like to just do little dots. I think it's much softer. I think it translates a little better. Inking has like never been my forte, so this Inktober challenge has definitely been a good kick in my rear to like finally practice this sort of thing. And the eyeball itself, or the pupil, I guess. One thing India ink definitely has over like Pigma microns, like when you do a stroke, it creates like a beautiful stroke. You don't really have to worry about it drying out unless you like run out of ink on your pen, but like it's just so much smoother to me, and like you can fill in sections a lot better. Like because it stays wet for a certain amount of time, it like fills in the gaps and you don't end up with like little white spaces. And I love that about this. It's definitely a really fun medium, and I've been enjoying it, even though it has a lot of struggles. And like I keep accidentally putting my hand into the ink and like smudging it. Maybe since today I'm filming and like talking my way through it, I'll be held accountable and I won't be like, oh, look how nice that fills in. Ugh, I love it. Love it. And like, look at the line variation I can get. Look at that tiny thin line, and then look at that thick one right there with one pen. I think that's really, really cool. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. Some pearls. Actually, I should do this shoulder first. Ah, so many circles. After I said circles are hard to draw. I'm drawing a bunch of pearls. I think that's good. I don't know if I need another row. We'll see. We can always come back once everything's dry, you know? And I'm probably gonna fill in her whole dress with solid black, so you don't really need to worry about drawing any like wrinkles or details in that area. Oh, I forgot to do her face. What happened? I guess we'll give her lips. She put on her lipstick today. Not too bad. Okay, we need to go over here and do these things before I draw here because I'll have to put my hand there, you know? Which is weird because if I was doing this with a normal pen, I would never think to do these random details over on the left side before I finished like the actual drawing. So it's definitely been a learning curve. I probably should do this bow next. Ooh, look at that line. Ooh, and the glove. There you go. So far so good. No smudges yet. Fingers crossed. Some more pearls. That's another thing as I do these hands. I've always not, well, as soon as I stopped taking hands seriously, I feel like they started turning out a little better because I was like, oh, I'll just draw a hand that looks like a blob because that's all I need, right? And that style, or that technique, really does not translate well to ink. I don't know what about it is, but I feel like the hands I've been drawing lately are just, whew, not up to my usual standards, whatever you would consider those. I'm definitely learning, which is always exciting. Another thing I've learned while doing this ink is just how much one line in just a slightly wrong place can completely change the shape of something and like change the way it looks completely. And these shoes are no exception. It's like very important that I try to trace my sketch as much as possible. Oh, we forgot this section, and look, I can't put my hand there, but luckily we can rotate the paper. Like so. Ta-da! Ooh, do you hear that? Voila! Alright, now the last thing to ink before we start going in and adding more solid tones would be this little bow up here. Ah! Yeah, kinda messed it up right at the last minute there, but I think with some adding in some tones I might be able to. Oh dang! Did you see that? It just dripped right out of there. Let's put this down and clean this out. And then once that's dry, I'll come back and erase everything. Because I've made the mistake of erasing things before it was completely dry. Sometimes it's hard to tell. So I like to give it some ample time to dry. We'll be right back. Alright, we're dry. Now I can erase it. So far, so good. Okay, I think what I want is to have like a purple bow, black dress idea. Looking at this, I kind of wish I had one of these ribbons come along back to there. I think that would have been a little bit better organized, but you know, you live and you learn. That's definitely something I've been learning through this Inktober, is laying out drawings and trying to get them to look good. I can't remember the word. There's a word for that. The way it's laid out on the page. It's, oh, the composition. Yeah, the composition of drawings is something I've definitely been learning that I'm not loving about my art style. So that's something I've been working on throughout Inktober. And having this come around the back there, I think, would help with that. Magenta. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that is pretty. Yeah, I think I want to use that in black. I think that would look very nice. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Dang. Put a little extra down. Try to smooth out that color. There we go, that looks pretty good. All right. Again, working on the farthest to the left and moving my way to the right so that I don't put my hand in it. So yeah, let's just color in everything that's supposed to be pink. And then we'll get to the black next. Should I do the shoes black or pink, do you think? I could definitely do the lips pink, but I might want a bit more of a diluted color for that. So yeah, now we just need to wait for that to dry. And yeah, I'll be right back. All right, I think it's dry. It still looks a little shiny, but I don't really feel like waiting. I'm feeling very impatient, which usually leads to problems. So if anything happens, refer back to this moment. It's my fault. Okay. I want to have like a light gray tone for the hair, a darker gray tone for the dress, maybe a light gray tone for tights or something, and then dark gray tone for the shoes. That's the plan. So I'm just going to drip some of this ink into a palette and add some water to it to lighten it up. Perfect. And then I want that also for the shoes. Nice, nice. Maybe darken it up a bit back here. Maybe we can add some a small smidge of shading. Maybe we can go with this same color for the hair. I'll make sure I turn it so I don't put my hand in it. When I'm doing that same thing, I don't want like a super harsh hairline, so I'm doing little strokies to try and smooth it out. I can keep it from being a super harsh line. I want it to be a bit more organic. And that's drying a lot faster because of adding water to it. So I shouldn't have to wait too much longer. I think I'm gonna add just to fill in this second leg with a little bit of gray. Not sure if that really translates, because I probably should fill in that too, but I need more water. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to darken up the dress now because I made the tights a little too dark. So I'm just gonna go over another layer on that. And then after that, I think I should be pretty close to being done. Yeah, I think that helps a bit. I could probably even darken it up another layer. I'm like trying to resist the urge to add some gray blush, because I could do it in pink, but I feel like I need to resist because the face looks pretty good the way it is, and I don't want to mess that up. So yeah, there we have it. There's my Inktober doodle sketch drawing thing for the 9th day of Inktober. I think it turned out pretty cute. I'm not going to lie, I quite like this. Although, as always, the original sketch always turns out so much cuter. Something about it. I don't know if it's overworking it. Just turns out a little different, but I think it turned out very cute and quite precious, if I do say so myself. But if you want to follow along with me on each day of this Inktober journey, you can follow me on Instagram, where I will be posting every single day. Wish me luck. Let me know if you're doing the Inktober prompts, what you drew for the prompt word precious. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all next week. I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye. I don't know if I should say bye this way or this, like, I don't know. Bye.